Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NHL Opinions of the Week. Now we are previewing the Stanley Cup Final. We gave you a short look at the conference finals. I was a little bit down, and probably still am a little bit down. But let's look at Austin. The man I'm about to present this information to. Isn't it kind of weird how I believe Paul Maurice, the coach now for the Panthers, was a interim coach last year, correct?
yes.
And now we have Chris Knobloch for the Oilers, an interim coach, is in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, it is. It is. Both of these coaches, obviously, because Knobloch has only coached in the NHL for this season. Neither of them has won a Stanley Cup, and we'll see which of the two coaches gets over the hump. With these two teams, I do find it really weird, Kevin, that both of these teams won in a game 6, and in that game 6, won 2-1. So they win a lot of these games close. The playoffs are so close, so tight, and it's going to be a great series. I'm really excited. I definitely think one of these two teams. I have my prediction already set. I once I saw the result of the Dallas game, I think I knew who was going to win this series. But no matter what, it's going to be, can the Top Guns for the Oilers power through, or will the more consistent, depth-driven team win?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I did predict the Panthers making the finals, and I have them winning the finals. I didn't do well in the West, but I'm okay with that. I'll probably stick with that. However, my question is also, is like the Stuart Skinner we saw in the final few games for Dallas, is that like he looked pretty good and he did not allow many goals.
Yeah, he looked. You're right. He looked good, but I also feel like the Stars were making him look better than he was.
That's how I
I
feel.
think. I think that the goalie advantage is clearly here for the Panthers. I also think they have the better of the two decors, and I think they have the better of the two bottom sixes. It really just is that top line really where the Oilers have the advantage, and it's the two best players in the sport going against a juggernaut.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great point. Can Skinner keep playing that way? Because that gives an edge to Edmonton, in my opinion, because then you have the two best goal scorers, as you're saying. And a key thing is the Panthers have to stay out of the penalty box. We talked about in the conference finals how the power play was working, and it really is incredible that you can put the two best players on ice and they have the man advantage. To me, that's just easy. It's easy because they're already great in general. Now you're giving them a one man advantage.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. At the same time, though, I'm not all that worried because the Oilers' power play wasn't that great until the last couple games of that series against the Stars. They had a long stretch in between against Vancouver in those first couple games against Dallas where their power play was horrible. And the Panthers are a better run team on the penalty kill than the Stars are going to be or were during that series. So I think that the Panthers are fine. I'm not that worried about them taking too many penalties. And even if they do take a little bit here and there, they're going to, because they have guys like Kachuk and they have other guys who are going to make a lot of plays. But that are not necessarily the most legal. But at the same time, it's going to come down to can you score on your power play, and the Panthers have been doing that all postseason, and I'm not worried at all. During the postseason, Florida has scored a total of 14 power play goals. 4 of them from Reinhart, 4 of them from Verhage. You got 2 from Vlad Tarasenko, who I think is an X factor in this series. But it is going to come down to can the Oilers outscore their problems? Because I still don't necessarily believe in the most in some of these situations.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. This could be a huge career-defining game for McDavid and even Draisaitl too. Of if they're able to pull this out with just what their skill set is, that would be huge. And then you also have the Panthers. I think this is an exciting series. I do think the Panthers have the edge. But that could all change just given the X Factor's ability of their skill set with Connor McDavid and Draisaitl. That's what makes the series so interesting is can they really do it themselves?
Yeah, you made some good points. So who do you predict winning the series, and in how
I'm
many
gonna
games?
I'm gonna stick with the Panthers. I feel like I had it I'm 7. I think I'll keep it with 7. I'm not sure what game. Maybe I had it in 6, but I'll go Panthers 7.
And then who would win the Conn Smythe?
Conn Smythe. Ooh. I'm gonna stick with Kachuk. That was my
Okay,
winner.
I think that's fair. I'll go Panthers in 5 games. I don't necessarily think this is going to be the craziest close series. I I don't think what happened to the Stars will happen again in this series with the Panthers. I don't see it happening twice. Lightning does not strike the same place twice. I just don't see it. But maybe I could be wrong. Again, when you have the 2 best players in the series, anything can happen. And I'll go Conn Smythe, Alexander Barkov.
That's a good point. Yeah, and the thing is, it's hard to get here with just relying on your star players. But once you get here, you just got to get to 4, and I think it's very possible with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the team getting to 4 just because of who they are. However, the Panthers are a great team, and they've
They were
been here
here
before.
last year. They have
Yep.
the experience. Yeah, I'm not worried at all about how their team will face this challenge.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'll toss this over to you to close out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know what you think about this series, who you think will win the Conn Smythe, and everything else. Please catch you in the next video.